How is everybody doing today? Welcome to the Ledger Lounge. How are we doing? I'm feeling much better, much better, guys. Thank you guys for checking up on me, making sure everything is going well with me. I do appreciate it. Lots of love. Michiki, thank you for the heart me. Poway Rock, how you doing? Right ear has no audio. You know what? I got a new audio setup and I'm short one cable, so the audio is going to be like that today. I do apologize. Yeah, we're running mono audio today. I should have that fixed soon. Amazon didn't send all the cables that I needed. Only one of them made it. Based on the charts, I mean, we're above support right here, guys. So try to get that fixed. Yeah, it'll be fixed ASAP. I there's nothing I can do about it. I got a new audio setup, and the cords did not come in time. So I had one existing cable, so we're running mono channel. So I do apologize for the audio today. What just glitched? I am feeling a bit better though. I am feeling a bit better. But we're above the support line, guys. We're above the support. It looks good. I am still sick, so definitely not better yet. But today the charts look all right, man. You know, we got a little spooky ghost here. We're moving right up into that channel, this upper channel right here. Let's see here. So we're moving up into it, guys. Moving up into it. 265 next? I doubt it. Tuesday, April 29th. What's Tuesday, April 29th? April 30th, ETF'S taking place. It was approved 2 days ago. That's fake news. Fake news. All right. Let's talk about it. Okay. Look at, oh yeah. Pro Shares gets SEC green light for 3 XRP ETFs. The fund will track the price of XRP based futures and offer traders a way to make money on longs and shorts. Okay. And that's basically what they're saying. However, XRP ETF rumors shattered by Bloomberg. No Pro Shares XRP ETFs are not launching on April 30th, contrary to fake news reports. According to Bloomberg, Pro Shares future-based exchange trade funds are not going to launch on April 30th. On Sunday, several cryptocurrency media outlets reported that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission had greenlit the aforementioned products. The reports were based on an old regulatory filing dating back to April 15th. The filing was mistakenly presented by these media outlets as a new development. The fake news was then uncritically shared by a plethora of social media accounts, even though there was no official confirmation from Pro Shares. As reported by USA Today, Pro Shares, which originally filed to launch the ETFs in January, packed April 30th as the target date for the launch earlier this month. However, there was no guarantee that the product would go live on that specific day. Boom. According to Bloomberg, there is no confirmed launch day for XRP ETFs as of this Monday. However, they are expected to go live in the short or possibly in the medium term. As reported by you today, a leveraged Bitcoin ETF offered by Tucrium went live earlier this week. The ETF launch was quite successful and sent relatively arcane product, blah, 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 as terrific and overwhelming. Meanwhile, there are plenty of pending spot ETF applications from ProShares, Grayscale, Bitwise, Kearney Capital, 21 Shares, Wisdom Tree, CoinShares, and so on and so forth. So there's no ETFs. Y'all got fooled. You got duped. You got duped. And don't feel bad because you're not the only ones. But I don't get duped, guys, because I read the news. I search it out. I seek it out. I find the truth so that you guys don't get burned. And let me tell you what, they are pushing the narrative of this, which is pushing the price up. Okay. But the price is probably going to drop in May and June, which it usually does. So they're trying to get people to buy up and use you as their exit liquidity to get out of the market. Mr. Pags 1, what's going on? Mr. Pags, who are you? Are you on TikTok? I don't quite know your name. Again, I do apologize for the audio today. Not all my cables came in. You're from Twitch? Right on, brother. Welcome, my Twitch friend, Mr. Pags 1. I will make a note that you are one of our Twitch followers. Thank you very much. Henry. Welcome, Henry. So yeah, ETFs are fake news, and I have a feeling that once the word gets out, that's going to bring the price down. Name says on TikTok, a week early, this guy's good. Where are we going now? That's a good question. Oh, shoot, the stream header. Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys right now, the live is a little messed up, okay? I am still very sick. I slept most of the day, and I woke up last minute, and I just kind of threw things on. I'm sweating bullets right now, sweating like crazy, not feeling well, and we're probably going to do a little bit shorter live today because I am still very sick. Do you think we go up a bit into like 240, 250 range before we dump? I think it's possible. But I think the only reason we bumped up above that line is because of fake news and they're trying to FOMO people. I think they're trying to FOMO people right before it drops. That would make sense. That's basically what's been going on for a while now. So let's take a look at the chart here. Look at the 1 hour. So we're just barely on the 1 hour here. Just barely on top. We hit it and it kind of is support now. So if we stay above 225, then yes. I'm shortly bearish. I jumped over to TikTok. Yeah, I do apologize about the audio on Twitch. I really do. We'll get it sorted out. Let me see. Did that fix the problem? No. Maybe that'll fix it. I honestly, I just didn't have time. I've been so sick. I barely got the IT guy in today, and he didn't even finish the music playlist or anything. Nothing got done. I've just been too sick to be on top of things. So everything's a little bit behind right now. So I do apologize. If we stay over 225 on the daily, I'd say on the hourly. I mean, I'm watching the hourly because this is probably short-lived. So I'm looking at a lower time frame. But on the day as well. But I'm keeping a close eye on it because it pretty much right here, 235, baby. That's where I said would probably be the absolute top, and then come back down. The question is and that would fulfill this pattern. So the head and shoulders is fulfilled at 235. So now we got to see is what else is it forming? Because it looked like it was going to form maybe a double top right here. It didn't do that. It blew up above here because of fake news. And usually fake news is short-lived, guys. So when it pumps from fake news, we get a little move like this. But when it falls after fake news, it brings it way down. All right. And we're coming into the end of the month. All right. So I feel like it's moon cheese right now. It's moon cheese, which means it could go either way. But if it does pump, I'm thinking because this is starting to drop here, I'd probably say like 244, 245, 24444, baby. That's my number. If it does go up. But it would take till May 6th or later to get to that price. And I just don't see it happening. I see, the beginning of the month, it dropping off like it always does. However, everything's been operating opposite. Even the charts, man, like it would form something like a bearish style pattern, and then it would pump, and then would form a bullish style pattern, and then it would drop. And it was just utter chaos. It drove me into sickness because I could not sleep. So yeah, it was definitely one for the history books the last couple days. But we're gonna have to keep an eye on it and see what happens. But let's look at the news. We're gonna do a short live today, by the way, guys. So I do apologize, but I am still very sick. Let's see here. Let's see what they have to say here.
Bitcoin keeps rising amid trade uncertainty as China denies talks are happening between Presidents Xi Jinping and Donald Trump. It's Monday, April 28th, 2025. I'm Christine Lee. This is CoinDesk Daily. China's foreign ministry denying U.S. President Donald Trump's claim that he recently spoke with Chinese President Xi Jinping, stating no such call occurred. The ministry also clarified Monday that no tariff deal negotiations are underway between the U.S. and China, contradicting Trump's assertions in a Time magazine interview. On Sunday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent suggested China may be denying talks because China is playing to a different audience. The ministry responded Monday that if the U.S. really wants to solve the problem through dialogue and negotiation, it should stop threatening and blackmailing China. As global trade uncertainty persists, Trump has been softening his tone on China as the U.S. dollar and stocks tumble. Last week, Trump said tariffs against China, which now total 245%, would be substantially lowered. Strategic allocation away from U.S. assets by investors could see Bitcoin hit a new all-time high of $120,000 in the second quarter of this year, according to a Standard Chartered report. The bank further reiterated its previous Bitcoin target of $200,000 by the end of 2025. Meanwhile, the Trump meme coin surged 85% in a week, reaching a nearly $3 billion market cap, despite Democrat calls for President Donald Trump's impeachment over selling access to the presidency by offering its top holders an invitation to a dinner event with the president. Senator Adam Schiff, Elizabeth Warren, and others sent a letter to the U.S. Office of Government Ethics asking for an investigation to determine if Trump violated federal ethics rules by engaging in pay-to-play corruption. The token faced a significant unlock of 40 million tokens earlier this month, an event that usually drives down price, and faces a 50 million token unlock worth about $740 million on July 18th. Finally, Stripe is testing a new stablecoin project aiming to capture a share of the projected 3.7 trillion stablecoin market by 2030. The payments giant is inviting businesses outside the US, UK, and EU to test their new fiat-backed token that provides an alternative to the traditional SWIFT system to facilitate cross-border transactions and competes with established players like Tether and Circle. The move comes after Stripe received regulatory approval to acquire Bridge, a stablecoin payments platform. For more news in the morning, you can subscribe to Crypto Daybook America.
So did you hear that, guys?
Newsletters.
They're looking to replace Swift. And what are they looking to replace it with? What are they looking to replace Swift with? They're looking to use stablecoins, CBDCs. This is what I've been saying for a while, guys. XRP may play a role in some of that for the cross-border transactions, but they're going to be using stablecoins, guys. It's not all this nonsense speculation that everybody's been clinging on to. Gineg 1234 thoughts on news of blackouts in Europe, France, and Portugal. What do you mean blackouts? Like power blackouts? I didn't hear about that. Honestly, I've been very sick. I haven't been watching the news. I haven't been doing anything. I've been trying to sleep. And that's been nearly impossible because my phone has just been, because I'm not live, everyone is blowing up my phone with messages, and like I need to have weekends to myself, guys. I tried to make an exception this weekend because I wasn't feeling well to answer your messages. But I do need to have at least one day off, guys, to rest and sleep. I'm getting messages from people all over the world at all different hours and times, and I do need to sleep. So please try to respect, my physical need to sleep. 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, my time is when I get the most messages. So please, let me have some time to sleep and be understanding if I don't answer. Because I'm trying, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to, I want to help, and I know you guys are like looking for answers, and that's why I go live so many hours a day. But it's taking a big toll on my body. My doctor says I need to reel it in a little bit because the show is taking a major toll on my body. All right, let's see here. Widespread power outage hits Spain and Portugal. The blackout hit. Nope. No thanks. Reuters. There we go. Reuters is good. Power outages hit Spain, Portugal, briefly France. Authorities establish. Supply restored. You know what I think it is? I think it's hackers. It's probably hackers. We're in the middle of a trade war, and you're going to start seeing a lot more of that. I do have an NDA that's coming up very soon that will be expired, and I will be able to explain the hacker stuff to you. And let me tell you something right now. If you knew the information that I know about this stuff, you would be terrified. you would be buying generators, storing up food, and storing water. If you knew what I knew. But I can't tell you what I know, but I can tell you guys, get some emergency supplies, have some batteries, have a flashlight, have a generator, have, some canned goods and things, have a month's supply of things. Because you're not going to have a fire in your kitchen every day, but you still keep a fire extinguisher, right? We need to be prepared for things that could come because no one is prepared right now. So, just food for thought. I wish I could tell you what I know. All right, let's see here. We're probably going to do a short live today. And I do apologize for the audio, guys. Man. And short one cable. All right, next news article. Nearly 90% of Americans expect tariffs to raise prices, Gallup poll finds. As President Trump approaches his 100-day mark as president, American voters are souring on his handling of the economy. New polls from Gallup and CBS News indicates that large swath of America disapproves of Mr. Trump's tariffs. Cornerstone economic agenda of majority says tariffs will drive up prices, end up costing more money than they generate, according to new Gallup poll conducted on April 2nd through April 15th. But yeah, we basically get it. Prices are probably going to be going up. And do you think the companies are going to eat some of those prices? Hell no, they're going to pass it on to you. They don't care about us.
So your business is growing. Good for you. But what if you grow out of control? It can be disorienting. Where did all these customers come from? Is your supply chain up for it? What about your developers? Will they be able to keep up? But with SAP, AI agents use all the right data to help you get out of the woods before you even know you're in them.
No, I thought we were getting a news report here.
So, a company.
I guess not. Oh, this is the one. My bad. My apologies. Here it is. Risk of global economic recession surges on U.S. tariff shockwaves. Let's take a look at what they got to say.
It said yesterday that they expect possible de-escalation. I think both sides are looking for an off-ramp. I mean, the question is, if they're going to start to negotiate, doesn't that mean they have to take tariffs really off the table and grant sort of a 90-day period just to even begin negotiating? And that might take a couple years before that's complete. But when you look at the data in the U.S., I mean, yesterday we had great PMI data. The durable goods data today, well, obviously was still pretty robust. And so until we see meaningful evidence of deterioration in the labor market, it might be premature. We might obviously see tariffs be reversed right away. We just never know. That's the whole basis of the art of the deal. And so, I'm just wondering, I guess, how much confidence you have that we are going to go into recession when we know that this whole situation is so chaotic and could very well reverse on a dime, with any sort of negotiation discussion.
Here's what you need to think about. I think, in my view, I've talked about the president as being what I call a cause and effect guy, which is he likes to be the cause of anything that happens, and if he sees the effects, he either lauds himself or he can course correct if the effects are not attractive. Well, right now he's undertaken a lot of cause. He's undertaken a lot of activity in the tariff space, but he doesn't see the effects in his face, which is to say the pain that's being caused for small businesses and even some large businesses across the country. We're seeing a drop in the amount of container traffic that's supposed to be expected to come in the month of April and then even more so in May coming into the West Coast, measured in the tens of thousands of containers. So if you think back to the pandemic, you'll remember that once the supply chains got shut down, it took a long time to get them back up and running again, and that had a lot to do with the inflation that we experienced. So we're starting to see the same phenomenon occur, which is as these supply chains get rerouted, get shut down, as sellers of goods in China start to reroute their goods to Europe and other places, it's going to take a long time to get it back into place. And so it may be pretty quickly here beyond the point of no return as it relates to a recession for the U.S. And I think that if we get to Memorial Day and we don't have a significant de-escalation specifically on China, then we will have a recession. And the question will be how deep and how long will the recession go?
So yeah, how long is this recession going to last? How long are we going to have these issues? You know, what is happening? Like he said, it could all turn around tomorrow. It could all turn around and be over, said and done with, and we'll be on our way to the moon. But I just don't see it happening anytime soon. There's a lot going on. So keep that in mind. All right, that's it for that. Today's show is going to be pretty short, I guess. Yeah, thank you for wishing me well. I am very sick still. But I did need to go live for you guys. Everyone had a lot of questions and want to know what's going on. So we'll do a little bit of technical analysis here. Basically, our support is 225 now, 220. So as long as we hold 225 or higher, I don't think we'll drop. However, I think it's the 15 minute. 15 minute kind of looks like a head and shoulders a bit. And if it is, it would break here and it would drop all the way down to 217 again. Jfinity, thank you for the tiny dino. Much appreciated. So we got to kind of watch and wait and see. Make sure you guys are taking profits. But there still is this, they're doing everything they can to pump the price up. I think they really want it to touch this line before they bring it down. But we'll see what it does. We got like halfway there. You know, 235 is almost halfway to the top here. So we'll just have to wait and see. But remember, the first of the month is coming. The sell-off of XRP. The line, this is trend lines. Let me show you. Really, it's more like right there. So this is this trend line right here. This is this channel we've been bouncing up and down inside of. And we've just kind of broken up above it, but there's this other trend line above it. And that's basically the diamond top. So if this is a diamond top, that's the resistance zone. So we'll have to see, but more than likely, if it does break up, it'll hit this blue line right here and come back down. If it does break above this, and my IT guy is fired. If it does break above this line here, then it would continue and we could see all-time highs and numbers up to like $5-7. But however, the resistance is very strong. We're looking at a trade war. We're looking at World War III. So generally the markets don't do well. And we're coming into May. Usually in May, things sell off. If you look at the prior cycle here, this was May right here. We dropped in April 29th, and then we moved up here, and then middle of May, we dropped off and we came all the way down to mid-July. And then once we started hitting August, we pumped up again, and then we tapered off. So we could see another pump, up to even $3, maybe, and then come back down again. But we just got to keep an eye on it. As for right now, we have support at 220, 225. So that's where we've been trying to break out of. That's this consolidation area right here. However, this head and shoulders pattern fulfilled beautifully, 235. However, with a head and shoulders pattern, you can go from here to measure the distance of where it would go. And, that puts us, somewhere right here, 270 possibly, but I think that's gross. I think really the head of it starts right here and comes up into about here. And that would put us at about 243, 245, 247. That's right where the resistance zone is. That would put us right at the top of the blue line. Right about there. So 247, baby. That would be probably the absolute most we would get out of this head and shoulders. But technically, it's been fulfilled. So we'll have to see. Let's look at the 1 minute here. As you can see, we're running sideways. We tapped the bottom here, pushed right up, and now basically this line is support. So something bad's going to have to happen to bring it down, I think, because this 220 zone is very strong, and we just consolidated in it very strongly for a very long time. We've been here for days since April 23rd. We've been moving sideways in here. And so we pumped up hard. We got our price correction of about 50%. And then we're moving up again, which could possibly take us to the next stop of like 240, 245. If it continues, if it wants to. But I'm not even looking at the 1 minute patterns anymore because they are so misleading right now. Don't trust it. When it looks bullish, it's bearish. When it looks bearish, it's bullish. But this is an indication of a drop downward. Not very far, but that's why you guys got to get off the 1 minute. All right, let's see here. More news. Trump's trade war means empty shelves are looming. How long until consumers feel the pain? As Trump's 145% tariff on Chinese goods remains in place, with no trade deal in sight, there has already been a decline in manufacturing orders from China, and freight bookings and sailings to the U.S. have also dropped. Analysts have been ringing the alarm bells about the consequences of tariffs for weeks, and now the fallout is beginning to take shape in what could add up to a slow-moving disaster. It takes freight ships weeks to travel from China to the U.S., meaning increasing and decreasing trade isn't as simple as flipping a switch. Exactly. It will take time. It will take time, and even if it all fixes and, you know, everything's better and we shake hands and everything goes away, there will be a supply chain disruption somewhere along the line in the next few months, because it does take time for the products to get here. It takes time for us to even feel the pain of it, because we have a lot of the things already here that have been shipped. And so they send bulk amounts. Once those bulk amounts are gone, that's it. So even if we turn it all back on and everything's better and we're all friends again, there will be a lack of supplies. It will take time for them to get here. So keep that in mind. Putin ally warns Ukraine solution may lead to World War III. Let's see what they got to say.
And some people, we're putting a lot of pressure on Russia, and Russia knows that, and some people that are close to it know, or he wouldn't be talking right now. The Prime Minister understands that better than anybody. He wouldn't be talking right now. He's talking, and we're putting a lot of pressure. I think he wants to make a deal. We're going to find out very soon, but it takes two to tango, and you have to have Ukraine want to make a deal too, and they're being hit very hard. And I do believe they want to make a deal.
Mr. President, and to your national security team, what concessions has Russia offered up thus far to get to the point where you're closer to peace?
Stopping the war, stopping taking the whole country. Pretty big concession.
Okay. So trying to stop the war, but probably not going to happen. This country's a war machine. Russia has the right to use nuclear weapons in response to what is considered to be Western aggression, says Vladimir Putin's top officials, who warned that any peacekeeping force overseeing a ceasefire in Ukraine risks World War III. I can't. Sergei Shoigu, who was Putin's defense minister at the time of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, told the TASS news agency that Moscow is closely following the military's preparations of European countries. Added that plans by a so-called coalition of the willing to oversee peace in Ukraine risks a confrontation between Moscow and NATO. Why it matters. A close ally of Putin was replaced at the defense ministry by Deputy Prime Minister, and he now serves as the Secretary of Russian Security Council. His comments are likely to follow. Moscow has repeatedly expressed its opinion to Western peacekeeping troops as part of the deal to end the war ever since French President Emmanuel Macron floated an idea with the reported backing of other allies. By mentioning a confrontation with the West and atomic weapons in the same interview, Shoigu has amplified the nuclear threat that has been hanging over the war for 3 years. Okay? World War III, baby. All right? If we're going into World War III, expect the markets not to do well. Okay? Expect bad things. And I'm telling you, we are right on the edge, baby, and we are tipping towards falling into World War III. We're not tipping the other way of de-escalating it. It's quite the opposite. So keep that in mind with you making trades. Russia declares a 72-hour ceasefire. Okay, everyone's like, "Oh, the war is ending. The war is ending. Russia's declaring a ceasefire." Okay, first of all, we were trying to get a 1-month ceasefire. Russia declared a 72-hour ceasefire in Ukraine for the next week to mark the victory day in World War II. That's the only reason why. Now, it could be because they're trying to pacify, Trump and different things, but it's only 72 hours, and it's so that they can celebrate their World War II victory. Okay? There's no peace talks happening. It's misleading misinformation.
Я думаю, що цей час, ці 2 доби, не буде таких жорстких обстрілів, які є кожен вечір, так, у нас. Але бойові дії таким чи іншим чином будуть вестися і буде робитися все для того, щоб просто перекидати нові сили і засоби на лінію фронту і все. Ну, це не перемир'я. Яке це перемир'я? Ми 3 з лишком років воюємо, а ви тут кажете про 2 доби перемир'я. Це смішно. Я навіть на це уваги не звертаю, це не перемир'я. Все буде як було.
Я вважаю, що це спроба Володимира Путіна втримати Америку за столом переговорів. Адже Трамп все ж таки намагається вивести Росію на перемовини, на якесь перемир'я. Він надіється, що це можливо. Хоча останнім часом в нього були якісь проблиски розуміння. Він спробував сказати, що а може все ж Росія не готова на перемовини і на мир. Потім Путін оголосив оце на Великодень перемир'я. І зараз я вважаю, це ще одна його спроба, ніби як втримувати Америку. Давати Трампу надії, що якісь перемовини можливі.
All right. So they're saying, oh, it's going to be peaceful. Maybe we'll have it extended, but what I'm seeing is that we're going to be having a ceasefire because Russia's not doing it because they're being told to, but because they want to celebrate. Russia's very stubborn, very, very stubborn. So that just shows me, in my opinion, that they are trying to be like, oh yeah, everything's cool or whatever. And oh, there's a ceasefire to make everybody chill out a little bit. Nico, thank you for the Let 'em Cooks. Censored by TikTok, thank you for the Let 'em Cook. 5 Let 'em Cooks from Neo. But I think it's just a Putin has never honored a ceasefire. Well, this isn't even an honored ceasefire. This is Russia basically saying they're going to ceasefire because they want to celebrate. So I just don't see anything substantial as in like, oh, we're doing a ceasefire because we want to negotiate and we want to find peace. It's basically, oh, we're going to cater to you guys a little bit, but we're going to do it in our way and say it. They're just very, very stubborn. Very stubborn. And that's pretty much all the news for today. Today's going to be a short live. It looks like we're going to do an hour. I'm still not feeling well, guys. And I'm sweating bullets right now. So I've been kind of blowing through the show today. I didn't get much sleep. I think in the last week I got about 8 hours total broken sleep. So I'm very, very tired. I'm going to try to get some rest. However, things look pretty good on the XRP side. Things look pretty good. We came down here and I see a lot of pressure pushing it up. It looks like it wants to go back up. If you missed 235, more than likely it'll hit 235 again. Okay. The question is it going to double top right here? at 235 and come down, or is 230 going to be heavy resistance and we get a head and shoulders that brings us down? But I would say it's probably going to hit 235 again. It usually does. As you can see, it'll peak up, it'll pull back, it'll peak up again, and it might fall a little short because it looks like we hit like 235.50, and it'll probably hit, probably 234 something. So more than likely it's gonna, but this ascending channel is also a bearish sign of a move downward to 225. And if it does that and it breaks through this blue line here, we could see it head and shoulders here. Let me draw it out for you. And be done. When's it going to dump? I mean, it could happen in the next hour. Who knows? I have no crystal ball for you, ladies and gentlemen. All I can do is read the charts and listen to the news and give you my opinion on. I know where it's going to move and where it's going to stop every time. The question is what news is pushing it in which direction, and that's how I've been able to become accurate at this. Okay, I can tell you where it wants to go. The question is, what is it actually going to do? I think it wants to keep pumping. But at the same time, the charts are telling me that it wants to at least touch this blue line again. How's it going, B? Missed you, buddy. If I buy, it will dump. If I don't buy, it'll... Yeah, and that's why we want to be buying in smart money zones, and we want to be selling on the way up, taking profits. So when it dumps hard, guys, that's the time to get in. If you're wondering when is a good time to buy, 163 was the price to get in at. 163, I've been screaming it at the rooftop for months, and now's time to be taking profits. Just got back from a nice, long, eventful bike run. Nice. Like motorcycle bikes or bicycle bikes? So these short trades, guys, there is money to be made in them, but they're just risky trades, and that's why it's hard to be successful. The idea is to get in smart money zones down here along this blue line, okay? But if we're going to stay above this blue line now would be the smart money buys. But we have time to wait and see if it's going to stay above this blue line to buy. And I would imagine if it does stay, it'll, probably make its way all the way down here to 215 again. Just, it will take time. It won't happen till middle of May. But usually middle of May, it goes and it's done. I took some profits last night, waiting for it to dump again. Nice. Good job. And those of you guys that are making money, remember, we are not making any money from Twitch or TikTok as of right now. We are monetized, but we're basically getting pennies. Maybe $1 or so a live. So if you do want to help out with the show and you are making money, donations are much appreciated. They do help to pay the staff here and keep things going. So I do appreciate all the donations that have come in. So if you want to give to the show and keep us going, that's what's been keeping it going. That's what's been paying the bills, keeping the lights on, and keeping everything moving forward has been donations. Your guys' donations have been very generous, and I do appreciate it. And that's the only reason why we're actually moving forward and progressing and getting better setups is because of your donations. So the thing about subscriptions don't really go to me right now because of the way the monetization goes. Basically, the platforms take most of the money. So if you do want to help support the show, the best way to do it is to send a donation directly. But if you guys subscribed on TikTok and you're waiting for your subscription to end to subscribe on Twitch, you will no longer have access to the daily price point videos on TikTok. Oh, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate you. Jessica, thank you for the heart me. Henry, thank you for the 50 goats. Thank you very much. Zahillo, thank you for the 20 roses. Zahillo, 20 roses. Thank you very much. But remember, guys, those it's actually quite expensive to do this show. I have an IT guy, I have a fact checker, moderator, manager. It kind of keeps me on track and keeps me from breaking guidelines and things like that, and fact checks all the things that we're doing. I have the IT guy that's dealing with all of the tech and things and setting things up, and I'm reading the charts like 24/7. I'm reading through the news and putting together the whole show. We're building the studio. I have a construction crew, soundproofing everything and putting in carpet and all kinds of stuff. So it has been very expensive. So I do appreciate what you guys send. Ventur, thank you for the heart me. And I don't want to say this in a demeaning way or anything. Don't take this the wrong way, but like one rose basically gives me like like a fraction of a penny. I don't really make very much from it. So if you do want to give to the show, the best way to do it is by sending a donation. So if you guys do want to keep the show going, donations can be sent through Cash App or Venmo. Or you can click the link on Twitch and pay with your card through PayPal. All right, so I think we're going to do a shorter live today because I'm just not feeling well. I need to get more rest. And we buzzed through the news quickly. Ibrez, don't forget to renew your subscription. But guys, when you subscribe on TikTok, okay? When you subscribe on TikTok, you're getting access to those daily price point videos. And with the deluxe subscription, you can message me directly for coaching. Mind you guys, I need to have one day off. So Sundays, I will not be taking messages. I do feel bad sometimes, and so I answer them anyway. But if you are messaging me, allow me to have a day to just rest and recuperate, because I have people messaging me at all hours of the day and night with questions, and 3, 4 in the morning. And yes, I am awake and on watching the charts, but I'm trying to wind down and go to sleep. And I'll even tell people, I'm like, hey, like I really need to go to sleep, and then they just continue and continue and continue. And I need you guys to understand that I am human and I do need to sleep. I know I'm trying to take weekends off, but it just never stops flowing in. And when I take weekends off from the messaging, I come back and there's hundreds, if not thousands, of messages to sift through, and it just makes it even more Yeah, I do need a day off. And, you know, I've been talking with my moderator that helps manage the show. And if people can't start respecting the messages on the weekends, I'm going to have to raise the price because I am working myself into the ground and basically getting nothing for it. You're the Oz bro. You can't get sick. We need you. True direction. I appreciate you, Henry. You're funny. I am live Monday through Friday, 5 to 9 p.m. And I think I'm going to be switching Thursdays for Saturdays. So I'll be taking Thursday off and Sunday off. But I'll still answer messages on Thursdays, but I won't be answering messages on Sundays. And if you guys feel like you need me and you need this show, help support it, because we're definitely spending more money than we're making. So if you do love the show and you want to keep it alive, send a donation, keep it going. Donations can be sent here. Hopefully, you know, if you can't afford it, you know, don't do it. But the idea is for you guys to become profitable. And, you know, if I can't tell you to share your profits with me, you know, I legally can't do that. But what I'm saying is if you feel inclined to help support the show and keep it going, please give a donation. The donations is the way to go. It's the best way to support the show. They're tax-free for me. And I get to keep 100% of that revenue. Whereas when you send things on TikTok or on Twitch, they eat up and take most of that revenue. And I'm basically not seeing any of it. By the time it gets to me, it's peanuts. So when you guys send donations, it's the best way to support the show. So, and for those of you that have been donating, I appreciate you all very much. And the idea is to keep this going so that we can all become profitable together. So thank you to all of you who have been donating. I do appreciate you. We need you to reset to make money and take your days off. We need you rested to make money to take your days off. I know, right? I need a day off. I need and that's part of why, like, I'm doing a shorter show. I might just start switching to shorter shows because the amount of workload is just literally put me in the hospital. Thank you guys for your love and emojis and everything. I appreciate it. But I literally put myself in the hospital. I've been working so hard. And I'm still sick, but I'm here. I'm here right now, sick as a dog, still working because I do want you guys to get this information. So thank you all for supporting the show and helping keep this thing alive, man. Because there's a few of you that have been very generous, and then there's a few people that are like, I paid for a $2 subscription on TikTok. You owe me now. You're my monkey. Dance for me. Moon cheese. But yeah, remember, guys, I am a person. I'm a person. I have feelings. I have needs, and I have to take care of myself. Why are you answering so many private messages? Group them together, discuss during the live. Because the idea is, you know, I'm offering coaching, you know, so a lot of people need coaching, and some people just don't get it unless you give them that one-on-one. And I totally understand. There's a lot of people that just, they need that one-on-one. So the only problem is if it continues to be so demanding, the price is going to have to go up. I'm doing everything I can to keep the prices of everything down, so that way you guys can send donations instead of having to pay it into TikTok, and TikTok takes most of the money. What chances is really moon cheese? I think it's higher chances it's moon cheese than anything. Yeah, raising the sub prices for like the deluxe, adding a different tier that's for like individual coaching or something. I don't know. I'm trying everything I can to avoid doing that. So technically, what you're getting from Twitch by subscribing here, hold on a second, I gotta do something. TikTok makes me prove that I'm on the live. So when you're on Twitch, by the way, the ads are going to be decreasing dramatically soon. I'm working on that. I was actually supposed to already do it. I've just been very sick. So I will be decreasing the ads on Twitch very soon. So I'm going to make it so that you guys can jump onto Twitch early. And while it's the we're going live soon screen, you'll be able to knock out all your ads so that way you can view for free. So you don't have to subscribe. So it doesn't play it later on in the middle and disrupt the live. Well, I'll get to Bitcoin in just a minute. But basically your subscription on TikTok is what's giving you your basic subscription is giving you your daily price point videos. Okay. Your deluxe subscription is being able to message me directly and get that coaching or ask questions and me help you out. Right. And your subscription on Twitch is for if you don't want to watch ads. That's basically how it is. And I'm going to try to change things to make the ads as minimal as possible on Twitch because we will soon have the ability to cast without using the phone on TikTok very soon. But we also need to have Twitch for just in case, because if we get hit with guidelines on TikTok for any stupid reason, we could literally lose the show for a whole week. It's happened before. So the idea of having Twitch is having a place to watch the show that's, more quality and you get, to see it directly on your screen. But it's also a place for just in case TikTok is gone because, it was already, the whole thing about TikTok being banned in the US, all that is still looming. Okay. At any given point, TikTok could just say, we're just not operating in the US anymore and it's gone. And we had a scare about that a few weeks ago. It was fake, but still, like, we have to keep that idea that there has to be a secondary place to go in case this is it. Looks like XRP is going to roll over. Yes. XRP dark pools. What do you mean dark pools? And by the way, I have Bitcoin pulled up. I don't know about Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin could see 100K. And if it does see 100K, I see it going higher. I see it going to like 100 and 101. Ish. Probably more like 99. I don't know what you mean by XRP dark pools. As soon as your philosophy and technical analysis skills proves out as a reality, more and more people will buy it. I agree. More people will see, that I'm basically helping people print money. I get that. And it will get better. But basically all my profits from trading are going back into the show. And so while we're small right now, we're being supported by you guys and your donations. I wonder is dark pools is the reason TC pumped so hard so fast. That's a good question. I do not know. I think everything pumped, not because of anything, but because the charts showed it, and then they fed everybody moon cheese. Some people say they should retest again. Is that true? It means that you should go down again to 985 and going back down again. True. Yes, that is true. So see how we came up here and then we dropped and then we retested back up here and then we dropped. Now technically this could be the retest, okay, where we drop down here and then it's retested right here on Bitcoin, for example, and we've already retested. But because we came up here, more than likely it'll have a pullback and then it'll retest again and then come back down. It moves in ways. Hi Oz, I'm late to the live, so XRP going higher or lower in the near future. Any chance Ethereum will pump? I don't see Ethereum pumping at all. Go to my TikTok page and look at my repost about Ethereum. Ethereum's cooked, bro. Ethereum is cooked. But Bitcoin got a heavy pump and now it's hitting this consolidation zone, and I told you it would hit about 195. That's where it's at right now. Yes, it could pump again to 100K. However, this doesn't really look like a flag. It looks like an ascending channel, which would be a bearish move down. I think it's due for a price correction. I do think Bitcoin is due for a price correction. I don't think XRP is due for a price correction because it moved sideways. It pumped up, it corrected, it moved sideways. It pumped up, it corrected, now it's moving sideways. I think it's going to emulate what it's doing right here. See this right here? It's going to do it again right here. See it? And then do the same thing. So expect to see this. Something like that. That's what I think. Looks like a heartbeat. Well, look at the sentiment with Ethereum, okay? So I agree. If Bitcoin goes sub 89, it's done. But I think XRP is going to do something like this. Ethereum, I think Ethereum's cooked because look at the creator. He's a freaking whack job. And then on top of it, Ethereum came out at the crypto summit and basically said in front of everyone on stage that they do not have the technology to operate on a global scale. And the reason why their gas fees are so high and it's so slow is because they are over capacity. They don't have the technology. They said that they aim to improve that technology, but they cannot continue operating the way they are. But yeah, this is what I think XRP is going to do. I think it's going to move sideways and pump again. 240. Why would they come out and say that? Because it's the truth. They said it without saying it. Go watch the Crypto Summit. It's on YouTube. They said a lot of things at the Crypto Summit that made me feel like the markets were going to dump, and it sure did. Go watch what Ethereum said at the Crypto Summit and listen closely, and you'll be like, holy shit. I think Ethereum's cooked. They talked highly of Ethereum. At the same time, what they were actually saying was not good things. But I think XRP is going to continue sideways, and then it's going to pump again, and then it's going to price correct, and then it'll come back up, and it'll probably consolidate again, and it'll do something like this. Definitely the next move is going to be this right here. See this right here? This is what you're going to see again. You're going to see this. So this right here. That would send it right. Look at it, looks identical. It would send it right up to that zone. What's the time frame? May, early May, first week of May. Chart on Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum looks like Bitcoin. It just pumped a lot less. It looks exactly the same. The sentiment is right now we don't know. More than likely we're looking at a price correction, which could be, you know, a small correction of 50%. That would bring it down to about $1,600, and then it could continue back up, or it could be done. You can't see the zone you're saying it's going to. For which one? XRP? MB 1221? You mean XRP? So XRP right now is at 229. Okay. More than likely it's going to pump to 240, drop back down to 225, pump back up to 235, consolidate, pump back up to 245, drop back down to 235, and then consolidate. So for Ethereum, will they give us a bailout package? Ethereum, the owner has not even talked about it. Yeah. Dude, go look at my video on TikTok. And mind you guys, this is a maybe, okay? This is not for sure, but this is what I think. Okay? And I think it because that's what it did right here. I'm very sick. I'm dying. XRP dump ever? Well, yeah, I think it's gonna dump, but after it hits like these higher points, you know. But I do think it's gonna hit the blue line and then come back down. So if I got out at 222 XRP, you think would be wise to get back in or wait? I mean, that's up for you to decide. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but let me tell you what I think. I think that if we hold above 225, expect it to move up to 240, 245. If we break below 220, excuse me, yeah, if we break below 225, expect it to see 216 and be below this line and head towards the low price of 150 to 130. And we'll have to decide what that's going to be depending on when and where it drops. So we need more data. But I mean, look at, we're talking about moving, you know, this much or moving this much. It's more likely that it's going to move this much than it's going to move this much. But if it breaks above this, okay, then expect to see, you know, $3, 280. But it would be smart. This is more or less consolidation. What the smart move would be is to wait for the breakout above 250 wait for the price correction, enter into the market, and then ride it up to 280. Have I looked into M2 money supply? It looks like cash liquidity is entering and growing. I'll look at it, but no, I haven't looked today. And mind you guys, cash liquidity is entering the markets in the US because people got their tax returns. Okay? People got their tax returns. It pumps like this every time. Okay, that's all you're seeing. And that's why they're allowing it to go up, get everybody to throw their tax money into it, and then dump it. Maybe. I am starting to turn around, okay? If we break out of this trend, then this would be a massive descending wedge channel in the 1 day here. What's going on? So this descending channel, it could break up. However, I don't think it's ready yet. I think it has one more drop down here before it goes up. And that would line up with, you know, June, July. This is crude, this drawing, but it definitely has one more move down. The question is it going to move down like this? Is it going to go up here and then down and then up? Or is it going to stop here and go down and then up? And the fact that it's pumping because of fake news should worry you. There's no good news that's real telling us that it's pumping. The ETF'S is fake news. There's been a lot of fake ETF news, and that's what's been sending it up. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a day for the live. I'm still very sick. I'm sweating like crazy. I need to rest my voice a little bit. Thank you all very much. If you want to support the show, you can send donations there to the Cash App or Venmo. And don't forget, guys, you can sign up for the alert system. We have an email alert system now, and you can get a notification from your email when we, yes, I got pneumonia. When we post anything on TikTok, I post the daily price point videos and when things are happening. People aren't getting them on TikTok. The algorithm isn't sending it to them until it's either too late, they get it days later. If you sign up for the email system, then it's only $1.99, and you can get on the mailing list, and you will get an email notification anytime it's posted to TikTok so that you can go and check out those videos. Thank you, Juan. Appreciate you. HD Malicious, thank you. Appreciate you. Shaz, thank you. So today's show a little bit shorter. Still not feeling well. Still needing to get better. TikTok treasure, thank you very much. But remember, if you do want to give to the show, donations is the best way. Henry sent 11 goats and 8 lightning bolts. Thank you, Henry. I appreciate you. Henry, I hope to see you in Vegas on June 2nd for the meet and greet. I've already got several people confirmed that want to go. I know it's a little bit of time out, but I know a few people are definitely trying to go. Cool. I haven't decided what venue we're going to use yet, but one of the casinos we're going to meet up, you know, play some games, whatever, hang out, probably do a special live show. I was thinking about doing the Bellagio or the Caesar's Palace. Where do you sign up for the email subscription? Just message me directly on TikTok with your email address, and I will send you all that information. Yeah, I'm thinking Bellagio, though. Bellagio, Venetian, Caesar's Palace, something like that. We'll all meet up there and we'll hang out and we'll play some games and talk, and I'll do a special live show from the floor. But it'll be a Twitch only live because of TikTok and their rules against gambling. And if you want to be on the show at the meet and greet, I can interview you. You can tell me about your crypto experience, your crypto story, whatever like that. If you want to be on it, if you don't want to be on it, no big deal. You can, watch from the sidelines. But yeah, if you're interested in being a part of the show, you get to be in the hot seat if you'd like to. Because I do want to hear, I think other people would like to hear your guys' crypto journey story. And, who knows? Maybe one person shows up, maybe 5 people show up, maybe 100 people show up. Who knows? And depending on who shows up, that's how we'll play it. And if nobody shows up, I'm just going to be live in Vegas. But I have a feeling Henry's going to be there. I'm probably going to see Henry. Henry's the one that gave me the idea, because he's like, yo, I'm going to be in Vegas this day. I'm like, I'm going to be there too. And I was like, you know what? We should do a little meet and greet. We should do a little special thing so that everybody can meet. Because I know I've been getting a lot of messages from people. Henry says 100% I'll be there. Yeah, a lot of people have been messaging me like, hey, man, like, where you at? Like, let's go get a beer. Let's go hang out. Big Baller wants to hang out, and I know a lot of you guys want to actually meet me. So I want to meet you guys too. So I was a little weary about it, because we do financial stuff and that. And I was like, you know what? If we do it on the floor of a casino, we got armed security and cameras and everything. It's a good, clean, safe environment to do something like that. So I figured it's the perfect opportunity. World Series of Poker tournament. I mean, oh man, I love that show. Texas Hold'em, baby. I love that game. Beautiful game. But we can't talk about that stuff on TikTok. I think it's still a bit of a downtrend, but we're technically moving up. I think we're due for price correction. However, I think, we moved out here. Why wouldn't we do it again? Come up and then come back down into it. The ETFs is fake news, bro. ETFs, fake news. But yes, the ETFs are making it go up because people are eating the moon cheese. Yeah, it needed to break 250. I don't think it's going to break 250. I think if it hits 250, that'll be the dead top. But it could hit 250 and hit, the blue line here, and this becomes support, and it's upward from there. Moon cheese is too yummy. I know, right? There's too many people that are being spoon-fed moon cheese that still believe that the price is going to $10,000 this year or $100 or whatever. They're sold into it. Yes, it's fake news. The ETFs are fake news. That was the first story we covered. I think it sounds like they're setting us up to nuke it too. I think you are correct. I think XRP is going to be something, but just not yet. And they need to kill it to get you guys out of it. Maybe $20 in the next decade. No way it's going to see $20 this year. At the most, I say $5 to $8. and probably more like 7 if up here. The most. It will not go past $10 this year. You're surprised the fake news didn't send it down? And people haven't learned that it's fake news. They just buy into it, and they don't actually read the news. They don't look into it. They don't do anything. They just, some creator told them that it was to do it, so they do it. That's why. I'm not here to tell you guys what to do. I just tell you what I see, and I read the news to you. And because of it, you guys are waking up and you're making money. And that's the idea, is to make some money. But I think you're right. They're setting it up to nuke it. Come Wednesday, when nothing happens, price going to drop big time. I think you're right. Remember, the first of the month, Ripple sells off XRP. And last month, they sold 500 billion instead of their normal 1 billion. Or excuse me, 100 billion. So they changed the rules to their escrow. So they can, who knows how many they're going to unload this next time. XRP army just echoes something they hear, and there's a lot of them. Exactly. There's tons of cheese for sale. And people are buying it. They are buying up all the cheese. What I see is we are hitting the line here, and we're looking at maybe a little pump up to this blue line and then send it back down. If that sentiment turns around, getting ready to short XRP, I would wait. We need more data. We need more data before we can make an educated decision, guys. So remember that, okay? Don't FOMO. Remember, if you miss something, it will always retrace back to that price. The price retracement always happens. Cheese moved from Wisconsin to San Francisco. You guys are hilarious. All right, guys, I'm going to cut the live early. I'm exhausted. I'm losing my voice. I feel like Ripple has to sell. They have office and people to pay. Exactly. I have an office and people to pay. That's why I got to ask for donations, because TikTok is not keeping the lights on. By the way, donations can be sent to the Cash App or Venmo. If you're becoming profitable and you want to help support the show and keep it from dying, that's how you can help. Yeah, I know. I'm building the new spot. Exactly. The studio ended up costing about $5,000 more than I thought, and we're only about 50% of the way done. So keep that in mind. Because of the airport and the landing strip, we have to build a massive sound barrier wall, which is not cheap. It would be cool if you showed us your office setup one day. Maybe. I mean, literally, I have cameras. So once the studio is done, it's going to be camera. You're going to see my face. I'm going to be on camera. It's going to be a whole thing. So you'll actually see the studio. Yeah, I mean, I literally have the camera set up right now. It's just not on because I'm not in the studio right now. I'm going live from my bedroom. And I don't want to broadcast my bedroom because, like, my bed's not made, you know. So when the studio's done, there'll be cameras and everything, and professional sound quality. It's going to be a whole deal. It's going to be a whole deal. So keep that in mind. I'm hoping to have it done here soon, but it's just been delay after delay after delay. It's been hard to find materials. It's been hard to find help. It's been hard to get things done because I've been sick. Yes, the Joe Rogan 2.0. We literally, like, Joe Rogan has Jamie, I have a Jesse. I have somebody that sits and watches the show, that's fact checking everything that we're saying, and will look into any thing like that. I have an IT guy that helps with all the equipment and things and setting things up. I can do all these things, but I am so busy with the show and answering messages and making memes and watching the charts. Like, I have to spread it out into to get other people to take on some of that responsibility, because I can't do it all on my own. It's just too much. So there is a lot of expenses that goes into making this show, but that's the idea, is to have a professional quality show, and, you know, get the information to you guys. And by being professional, we can grow quickly and help people before it's too late, before they lose everything. Are you in any trades right now? Nope. I am holding stable coins. I buy down here. I buy down here and I sell up here. And then I'll buy these little zones down here and sell up here. But that's when I buy and sell. All right, guys. Have a good night. I appreciate you guys coming out, and I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm sorry it's a little bit shorter of a show today, but I am still in recovery. My thoughts that stables are on Ethereum, so Ethereum is valuable still. Well, RLUSD will be on the XRP ledger, and that goes live soon. And I think that that's the stable coin that they're going to use, because they can do cross-border transactions like instantly. But everyone thinks that because of that, XRP is going to be worth all this crazy money. But XRP is like trying to fill up a bucket with no bottom in it, because the money moves through into it and then back out of it. It doesn't stay and sit in it. Have a good night, Henry. I'll see you in Vegas. Don't forget, guys, we are doing the meet and greet June 2nd in Vegas. Come on out. Is Mega okay? He hasn't posted anything for a couple of weeks. I'm not going to say, but I think he's working. I know he's in LA working. Mega's just a busy man. See, that's the difference between me and Mega is like Mega actually still has a regular job, and I'm retired. So I do love Mega. He inspired me to start doing this for myself. But you know, he's got his things he's got to do, just like I do. I've been sick. You know, and I know he's still getting over being sick. But, you know, that's why there's multiple creators, you know, and, you know, be listening to what multiple people have to say, you know. Listen to everything, believe nothing. I even watch other creators. People think that I watch other creators to steal their information. However, if you watch my show, nobody is ever saying what I'm saying. They're close. They're close to kind of have this sentiment, but I'm like, oh yeah, it's going right here. And I know it because I'm doing it myself. Was just curious. No, he had to work. Just seemed strange. Henry says I'm one of a kind. Yeah, I'm the only person that I know that is nailing it like I do. And I don't know. I've just been good at it. Yeah, I'll tell you what the difference is. Everybody else is using indicators and Fibonacci and the EMAs and the RSIs and all this stuff. I don't look at any of that. When I started doing the show, I was like, oh, I better start looking at that stuff because that's what people want to see and blah, blah, blah. And people would ask me about it. And when I started doing that, I became less accurate. I became what everyone else was. And so once I eliminated that from the show and I just did me, now we're back to that heavy accuracy. You're saying what everyone is scared to. Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. And I'm also, I'm getting my price points in a different way. People nowadays, they don't know how to do trading the way I do it. They don't know how to read candlestick charts. That's why they have the indicators, because they don't know how to read it. And the indicators are just off. If you want to be dead ass accurate, you got to read the candles. That's where the money's at. And no one knows how to do it anymore. It's like almost like lost technology. So that's what makes my show different. That's why I'm able to call 163 2.5 months early. All right, everybody. I'm done, skis. Have a good night. I appreciate everybody. Let's see. Do we have some music? No, we don't. Don't have any music. Adios.